Good afternoon and welcome to the Infinity Strings Youth Orchestra concert. We're very happy to have you. And my name is Felipe Luzuriaga. I am the conductor of the orchestra. Today we have prepared 4 pieces of different styles of music for you. And I'm going to be explaining a little bit about each piece, the work that we have prepared for each piece, what we have worked on, what details you can listen for in these pieces, and everything these guys have been preparing for you today. So, first of all, I want to highlight some of the work that is so important that we do with the youth orchestra, with the strings orchestra here in this, in our rehearsals and preparing for the concert. First of all, the ability of a musician to play in a group ensemble, in a group setting, requires many different skills, more than just learning or playing the notes of the instrument. It requires focus and concentration, both on the music and on following a conductor, which is not an easy skill to acquire, and it takes time, it takes repetition, it takes, like I said, a lot of concentration. Another thing is teamwork and the ability to listen to other players around you while you play. Because it's one thing to learn the notes and practice at home by yourself, but when you're in a group setting, you have to tune to the instruments next to you, balance the sound of your own instrument with that of the other instruments in the orchestra, which again is not an easy thing to do. It requires a lot of time and practice to master these skills. So this is very important in their development as human beings. There's many of these skills will transfer to other areas in their lives, and it's unique. They can learn this in the youth orchestra, in the string orchestra setting. Now, the first piece that we will perform for you is called Little Tango. And in this piece, I would like you to pay attention to the differences in dynamics. That is the volume of the music. So we play some parts of the piece at a loud volume called forte, and then repeat the same thing but soft to piano or soft dynamic. Okay, and again, this has been practiced. They have to look at the music and see the indications there, but also adjust immediately and follow the gestures of the conductor to do so. So with that introduction, now I would like to ask for an applause to the youth orchestra. Please stand up. You're welcome. The next piece we're going to perform for you is called In the Hall of the Mountain King, written by Norwegian composer Edvard Grieg. It's a very popular piece, and in this piece, one of the main features that we have been working on is the difference in tempo. So there's one thing, normally pieces of music, you start at one speed, you end at the same speed. In this one, something very interesting happens, and it's called an accelerando, happens during the piece, which means speeding up the speed throughout the piece. Again, to develop this requires a lot of focus, a lot of work to do it as a group, right? Because you can speed up by yourself, but you end up in different places. But to do it really together and to get to the end together requires a lot of work. That's one of the main features we're going to highlight. The other one is that the orchestra is subdivided in sections. We have the cellos. Can you stand up, please? Bravo, you can applaud. We have the third violins. Stand up, please. We have the second violins. And the first violins. Okay. So, you will see how the main theme, the main melody, goes on through the different instruments. So first the cellos, then the third violins, then the seconds, and then the firsts. But so you know what I'm talking about, we're going to play the melody together first. Just play the melody. So that main melody will pass from cellos, then to the thirds, then to the seconds, then to the first. As the other instruments take the opportunity to play the accompaniment in turn. Okay, so it's very interesting how it's laid out, and at the same time, like I said, you will notice how we get faster and faster and it gets more exciting. So this is In the Hall of the Mountain King. The next piece in the program is very well known. It's Vivaldi's Spring from the Four Seasons. And in this particular piece, we will be highlighting the articulation. That means the little difference that you can do with how you play a note. You can play the same note in a long articulation, or you can play the same note in a short articulation. So if you make it one way or another, the music sounds completely different. And in this type of music, which is very lively and also resembles nature, it tries to mimic spring and the happy feelings about spring and all that, we use short articulation. You will notice how they move their bows in a somewhat faster way, and the notes are not so connected between each other, but they're a little separated. So we have been working on these details a lot, and you will hear how they can master that now. Again, these are all things that require a lot of practice, and even professional musicians still work on that a lot to make it happen in their performances. So in this, now we're going to play an arrangement of the first movement of Vivaldi's Spring for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. To finish the concert, we're going to perform one of my favorite composers from Latin America, Astor Piazzolla. So the last piece is called Libertango. This is a play of words in Spanish because the word libertad, which means freedom, has been combined with the word tango. The tango, the style of music which is so typical from Argentina, where the composer came from. So it's like tango for freedom in a way, in a play of words, libertango. Now, this composer is so particular. He was at first seen as someone who was transgressing, who was doing things that shouldn't be done in that style of music, because he brought rock, jazz ideas into tango. So at first, composers of classic tango of the beginning or middle of the 20th century didn't like his music because of that. But now he has become one of the most popular composers in the last part of the 20th century. He passed away already, but he was also a very prolific bandoneon player, which is one of the main instruments that is used in this type of music from Argentina and Uruguay. Now, this is particularly challenging also as an ensemble because tango uses a lot of syncopations, which means you don't play the notes where you expect them to play normally, as in the main beats of a bar, but you play them in the off beats. So if you listen to the beginning, we're gonna listen to just the cellos and the third violins play the first 8 bars. Okay. Very good. So that's the basic rhythm, which is, like I said, syncopated rhythm. And on top of that, the violins play this. Very good. And now if we put it together, it sounds like this. So, to just make that happen, to make those two different ideas work together, there's a lot of work that needs to happen. First, individually, because the parts, the notes that these guys are playing are not so easy. You know, they are a little more advanced, and they require different techniques to be combined. And then, to make it happen together, like I said, the syncopated rhythm of the accompaniment with the motive that the violins play, to make that happen, it required a lot of work. And then we will listen to a long melody played by both the thirds and the cellos first, and then the first and second violins. This long lyrical melody with long notes we will hear on top of that. So that's the piece Libertango by Astor Piazzolla, and we hope you enjoy.
Hello, all the parents. I want to take this opportunity to thank our conductor, Philip. Thank you very much. Today, the little pity is we have a 6 first violin, but only 2 is here today. So it's very pity. So you can imagine if we have another 4 first violin and others, we have 20 players. The sound will be much richer and much beautiful. But we can see it's so beautiful, and I really want to congratulate every players. You got so much improved progress. Yes. Congratulations for all the families, all the parents. You have a really good kids. Okay. Okay. Thank you for everyone to support our Infinity Strings program. Thank you.